Boys, today I'm going to be telling you about 10 things that noobs do that pros do not. I've been playing this game for over a year, and in my time on this game, I've learned a lot. And I bet even if you think you're a pro player, you'll still learn something new off of this list. I already did another one of these videos where I showcase the top 5 things that noobs do that pros don't, and you guys really like that. So if you haven't already seen it, go check that one out after this one. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the first tip. And this is something that I can guarantee 90% of you do not know about, because this has really only been popularized really recently. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about perfect blocking. Yeah, that's right. The Strongest Battlegrounds has perfect blocking. It's a way to do an M1 and do anywhere from 3 times to 6 times more damage. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and show you how to do this. All right, guys, so right here, I've got my alt account. And basically, if I hold block and then the account punches me, as you can see, not really gonna do much. Once again, if I hold block, the account punches me, and then I hit the account, it's still just gonna do the same amount of damage as it does before. But if I have my alt account punch me, block, and then right after the block, I do an M1, well, then it's gonna do a lot more damage. So as you can see, a normal M1 does barely any damage. You know, the player heals within like 2 seconds, right? But if they punch and I block at just the right time and then punch back, as you can see, it does like 3 times more damage. Now, guys, here's something crazy, okay? And this is something that nobody that I've ever seen talking about perfect blocks has ever said. See, most people think whenever you do this, like you have to punch right after the perfect block or it doesn't work. Nah, as soon as somebody, oops, I messed it up. As soon as somebody M1s you and you get a perfect block, from now until the next time that you do an M1, you are holding on to a perfect block. So as you can see, I've been walking for quite a while and then I can spawn in a dummy. And as you can see, it now does a critical hit when I hit the dummy, which is pretty cool. And also, if you time it just right, you can do what's known as like, yeah, there it is, black flash. And that does a ton of damage. Anyways, I know a lot of you already did know about that, but it's only been newly popularized, so I wanted to mention it here. Next up, the second thing that pros do that noobs don't is have incredible movement. Every time that I go into a server, I keep seeing players like fighting like this, okay? They're just like, they'll just be like M1ing and then, you know, occasionally dashing, forward dashing, this kind of thing, you know, doing consecutive, whatever, right? Rarely do I actually see a player doing movement like this, where you're actually like fighting dynamically. Toggling shift lock, that's a big one. It makes it a lot harder for players to guess where you're gonna go if you don't constantly have shift lock enabled. Boom, uppercut, tech. Nope, never mind. Okay, I messed that up. Oh well. But yeah, guys, work on movement. Seriously, this is like the heart of the game. If you have bad movement, you're a bad player, period. No questions asked. If you can't dodge and move and you haven't practiced it, you're trash. You suck at the game. I'm sorry. I hate to be the one to break it to you, but the good news is you can get a lot better really quickly. And there's a lot of great tutorials about how to get better at movement over on YouTube. All right, guys, next up, the third item on our list is to learn techs. You might have seen me using a tech just a second ago. Boom, M1, and then watch. See, as you saw there, I was able to do shove and make the player stop so they didn't just go spiraling off into the distance. Boom, shove, and then M1. So yeah, pretty cool. One that I oftentimes use is this. So that's 1, 2, 3, shove, and then instantly M1, and that's gonna knock them onto the ground. And if they don't have a ragdoll cancel, then you can come up and uppercut, side dash, catch them, 1, 2, 3, and then consecutive into normal punch. It's pretty great. It's super overpowered. So yeah, that's just a great example of where you can use techs practically. I would suggest looking up a YouTube tutorial that showcases all of the techs, because I would show it in this video, but it would literally take up like 20 minutes, okay? There are so many techs in this game and it's too much to explain. So if you want to learn more techs, go check it out over on some other people's videos. Honestly, I need to make a video on some good techs because there's some really overpowered ones. Anyways, guys, this next one, number 4 on our list, is something that I see pro players doing all the time, and it's bad. This is something that pro players are even doing that is bad, okay? But I see oftentimes noobs doing this to even a worse extent. So let me explain how to fix this. The problem is lag. Your game is not running smoothly. Well, guys, I've got a couple things to tell you about how to fix this. Number 1, playing the game well is a lot better than the game looking good, okay? Look at pro Fortnite players. Their games look trash, but it's the most optimal settings for being good at the game. If you're lagging, go into your settings and turn down graphics quality. Your game might look like this, but it's better than your play style looking like this. Next up, go into your in-game settings up here in the top left. And if you're really struggling with lag, enable fast mode and disable blood. This will boost your performance a ton. And lastly, I suggest getting an FPS unlocker. There's plenty of tutorials on how to do this, so I'm not going to explain how to do it in this video. But if you want to unlock your FPS so it's not capped at 60, make sure to go get an FPS unlocker. Oh, and if you want to know how many frames per second you have, just hold shift and then hit F5. And as you can see in the the top left, your FPS count will come up. For some people, you might have to hit Shift Function F5. All right, guys, next up, number 5 on our list is to play players that are better than you. Fight good players. This might seem counterintuitive because you're like, well, I'm just gonna lose. Exactly. Every loss is a win. Guys, I should write a book. I'm so inspirational. But seriously, every time you lose, you learn. I lost 20 fights before I even got my first kill, okay? Do you actually think you're gonna become a pro at the game if you're just fighting players that are at your skill level all the time? The answer is no. You will just stay where you're at. If you take away one thing from this video, take away this. You have to challenge yourself. Put yourself outside of your comfort zone and be okay with that. Pros have to do this all the time. And regardless of your skill level, this is something that everyone should be getting better at. And one of the things that I see all the time in these videos of like how to get better at the Strongest Battlegrounds, everyone's like, play ranked. Here's what I'm gonna say. Maybe don't always play ranked. Ranked is literally designed to put you up against players who are at the same skill level as you. Granted, it's pretty terrible at it sometimes. Actually, most of the time. Yeah, it's kind of terrible. But why play ranked? Sure, it's great for learning 1v1 tactics, but if you're wanting to get better, I would suggest finding better players than you and 1v1ing them. A lot. This is how you'll learn. All right, guys, next up, the next thing that I see noobs doing all the time that pros absolutely do not do is throwing away ragdoll cancels. All right, let's say that you get M1'd and you get on the ground like this and you go, boop, oh, I'm back up. It's fine. Everything's fine. Not everything is fine, okay? Now, as you can see, for the next like 30 seconds, I can't dash. I'm trying to hit dash right now. I can only dash once I actually get up. If you're fighting a good player and you waste your ragdoll cancel, you're about as good as dead because these players know how to combo and they know how to combo fast. If you lose your ragdoll cancel, they will just combo you into oblivion and there is nothing you can do about it. So don't waste your ragdoll cancels and learn how to not get into situations where you have to ragdoll. Most of the time, to be honest, it's better to take more damage than to use a ragdoll cancel. But of course, that'll just come with experience and learning how to know when it's time to use your ragdoll cancel and when it's not time. There's no one specific method to it. That just comes with experience. Anyways, guys, let's move on to the 7th item on our list, which is punishing. Let's say a player misses their M1. Or for a better example, let's say that they do flowing water or something, right? They miss it. Now I can punish and I can actually do a combo on them. Punishing is one of the #1 things that I see pros players doing. And seriously, if you look at any pro match, you're going to find them punishing, or at least trying to. Because if you can learn to effectively punish, your opponent is done for. One mistake and it's game over, especially if you can learn some good combos. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and move on to the 8th item on our list. And this one is for absolute beginners, okay? If you're just starting out to the game and you haven't picked out a main character yet, I would definitely suggest using Garu. Garu is not only easy to just pick up the basics of, but Garu also has a ton of combos, probably more combos than any other character in the game. So there is a ton of learning that you can do with that character, and it's better to start with a character that you'll eventually get good at than to get good with like Saitama like I did, and then struggle trying to switch over to Garu or whatever character you want to play. Just please, whatever you do, do not learn the game playing Genos. That will not help you. You'll think you're good and then you try and do a combo and it just trust me, it's not good. There are good Genos users. Take Digisonics for example, but it takes a lot to learn to actually be good. And if you start out on Genos, I don't think you're ever actually gonna learn that. I'm pretty sure Digisonics started out as a Garu main. So if you're not sure which character to pick and you're an absolute beginner, pick Garu. It's gonna be the best character. And for those of you that don't know, Garu in the game is called Hero Hunter. Gotta help out the new players. But anyways, let's move on to something that's more general, not just for absolutely new players. This is for anywhere from absolute beginner to pretty dang near a pro, okay? So the 9th item on our list is to learn combos. You don't even have to learn fancy combos. You can just learn something super basic, but make sure it's a full combo, okay? Learn one full combo and spam it until you can do it in your sleep. And then learn another one and another one and another one. And eventually you'll start to get a really great understanding of the character that you're using, and your movement will become more fluent. You'll have a better understanding of the game. It's so great. Learning combos is one of the best ways to learn this game, in my opinion. All right, guys, and the 10th item on our list is to stay up to date with the recent trends. Techs are constantly being discovered, so make sure that you're in the Yielding Arts Discord server and checking the videos tab there to see when people upload new techs and stuff like that. There's constantly new metas evolving in this game, and one of the best ways to keep up with this as well is to just play with players who are up to date with these new metas, or just be on the lookout in public servers when you're fighting to get an idea idea of what the new playstyles and stuff are. This game is massive and it's constantly evolving, so why try and learn on your own? Learn from others, and I promise you will be successful in this game. And one other thing that you can do to stay up to the recent trends is subscribe to my channel. Yeah, I know it's like such a YouTuber thing to say, but seriously, I'm out here posting pretty much every single day, and I will always keep you guys up to date on the newest metas. So I don't know, if you want to do that, it would make me very happy. But if you want to try learning a different way, by all means do. I just think it's a great resource, and it's something that I wish I'd known, or not even known, just wish I had when I was starting out on this game. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think of these tips and tricks about things that noobs do that pros don't in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again very soon. Peace.